before we get to the interview, thanks for doing this, but who is just transformed to their high school years watching those videos, right? Like, it's crazy how music just triggers memories.
Yeah.
I was just 2 minutes ago watching those amazing videos. I was in my 84 Caprice Classic, windows down, rolling down Route 8 to go to Hartford, and just that's powerful stuff. Anyone, am I alone in this? Yeah, give them a hand for the... I can't remember what I had for dinner last night, but I remember being on Route 8 listening to that music. First off, thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, our
Seriously.
absolute pleasure. This is like a bucket list item for all of us here. I want to also thank you for your generosity. So Foreigner donated this amazing VIP prize pack to the 26th annual WSB Carathon. So meet and greet pictures at the concert backstage. It was a lot of money, and it got scooped up like this. And you're going to help us. Over the 25 years we've done the WSB Carathon, raised over $30 million for the kids and children.
Wow.
So
Wow.
thank you. So Jeff and Luis, let me start with this. I need to know your like superhero origin story, your Foreigner origin story. How did this come to be?
Okay, well, I did a movie in 2000 that came out in 2001. It was called Rockstar.
Awesome movie.
And in the movie with me was Jason Bonham, son of legendary Led Zeppelin drummer John Bonham. And Jason and I just kind of hit it off in the movie. We had a good chemistry, musically, personally, everything else. So in 2004, when he was working with Mick Jones, and he and Mick weren't sure, what is it going to be, a solo project, whatever. But they called me up and they just said, "Would you be interested in?" There was a show that they had booked. Excuse me. And they asked me if I'd be interested in doing it. So I came out there. We practiced for a week. It was great. The chemistry was fantastic. Mick was on fire. Jason and I were having a blast. I mean, it just really was a good thing. So we ended up doing the show. This was July of 2004. And after the show, Mick was like, "I've got to do this." And so he decided he was going to revamp Foreigner. It took us several months before we got it off the ground after that, because he had to go through a divorce in the meantime. But once that happened, we put the band back together, and I've been there ever since.
So 04 is the origin story. But
For
the
me.
band, you got officially into the band how
2004.
much? 2004.
Yeah.
Luis, what's your origin story?
Well, I was working in a band called Train. I was playing lead guitar there, and I remember. So Michael, who's the keyboard player of Foreigner, I've known him since the '90s in San Francisco. We came up in music together, so we've been many years friends. He called me out of the blue one day, and I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" And he goes, "Hey, how's everything going?" Right? And I heard when somebody asks you that, I go, "Okay, Michael, we know each other. What's going on?" Yeah. And he just told me what was going on, and that one of the longtime members, Tom Gimbel, was leaving the band, and he just was done touring. He didn't want to tour anymore. He'd been there for about 30 years and whatnot. And he goes, "I know you're in Train, but would you ever consider it?" Right? And all those songs I'm hearing while he's telling me all this stuff, and I'm like, yeah. I go, give me a little bit of time to think about this, right? And I called him back in about 5 minutes. I'm like, give Jeff my phone number, and pretty much right down the line, we got in a room and we were all kind of like, this is magic. I mean, everybody was there. Phil was there, and even Tom, God bless him, he was part of the process too, and everyone was like unanimous. And after that, Mick, just basically came and said a thing I'll never forget. He goes, "Luis, I'll commit to you if you commit to me." And I thought, that is the most incredible thing to say to somebody, just on a human level, like, not "you're hired," He goes, "I'll commit to you if you commit to me." I'm like, absolutely. And so that's how I came into the band.
I have not a musical bone in my body, and I can't relate to what you do, but I'm trying to think of a comparison, like, because you've obviously had successful music careers prior to Foreigner, but it's Foreigner. It's like you're getting called up. The Atlanta Braves call you up, and you're like, "Hey, we'd love to have you as part of our team."
I kind of think that's right, because when you're. And I was just talking about this when we were in the room. I go, I was around a lot of my peers, bands like Train and Matchbox and all, and when this came, it was just like, oh wow, and we were just talking about looking at the CD. I'm like, look at that, we did that, we were part of that. You mentioned the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We got to play on stage on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and experience that whole thing, and because Mick Jones believed in us, and Mick Jones handpicked. He's like, he's the dude. This is our band.
And it's like there's no casting, there's no call. It was like you were hand selected.
Correct.
To continue this
for
legacy.
the most part.
Yeah.
For the most part, and it's wild because it's not like that in our industry. Most of the time, it's like, okay, you're one of this year. You're 101 of 108. You go, and it's like the big casting call.
I'm glad you brought up the new album. Tell the folks about the new album.
All right, it's called In the Eye of the Storm, and it is it's a two-sided disc that has one side that's all electric songs. The other side is all acoustic songs. And these are taken from performances that we did around Ellis Island in September of last year. We had to film, we made a film actually, which is going to be coming out in the fall. And the film was to be done at Ellis Island, Ellis Island, Foreigner, that connection. And so we did a show on Ellis Island that ended up being a complete travesty because the weather turned into a complete nightmare. I mean, a serious, serious nightmare. Equipment was ruined. I mean, it was a mess.
It was chaos, yeah.
But out of all that came this great salvation in that we had no power. There was we didn't even have acoustic instruments with us. But at the last minute, we decided to do an a cappella performance off the cuff. I mean, we were making it up as we were doing it. And we did that in the introduction hall where all the immigrants would come in at Ellis Island. And that was kind of the saving grace of the whole movie. So that saved the electric show. But we did manage to get 5 songs done. We got up and played 5 songs, and then the rain destroyed our keyboards, and we couldn't play after that. But then the following day, we played underneath the Brooklyn Bridge at a place called the Dumbo House. Yeah. And we did this acoustic show, which was originally just going to be a couple songs, and it was just going to be kind of a shake your hands, hi, how are you kind of thing. Yeah. But it turned into a major show because we didn't have all that much material from the night before, because the electric show was supposed to be 90 minutes, and this turned out to be 25 minutes. So we did a longer show at this acoustic show, and out of that now, we got 5 songs from that and 5 songs from the electric show that is this CD, which is coming out Friday, I believe.
So this is historic, right? Forgive my ignorance, but is this the first acoustic Foreigner album of all time?
No. We actually did one, I want to say 2011.
Oh, I knew that. I was testing it.
Yeah. See?
Since 2011.
And it was called,
That's
it was
right,
called
yeah.
Acoustique.
Yes.
So that's what threw you off.
Exactly.
If it said acoustic,
I'm
you
not
would've gotten
bilingual.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
So wait a minute. This is the first acoustic record.
Yes.
Because that was the first
Acoustique.
acoustic record. Yes,
Unbelievable.
there you go.
All right, so this Friday, you've got the concert at Amerisbank Amphitheater, which everyone here got
Thursday.
tickets Thursday. When did I say?
You said Friday.
The
record's
album's
Friday. Yeah.
Concert's Thursday. I looked at your tour. You don't have a second to breathe till the end of August. Like you are.
Well, maybe breathe, but we don't really.
You don't have a
until
break.
November. Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's exhilarating, but also exhausting. How do you maintain doing these, the meet and greets, the concerts? Like, what's your secret to
loving what we do?
Is that it?
Yeah.
That's a big part of it.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it, because if this was like, oh, okay, work, like your body responds to that. And when you love something, your body also responds to that, so it kind of keeps you going. And of course, sleep, and trying not to wear out, not to start trying to eat right, all those basics. But it's really that, like, you absolutely love what you do, and it gives you everything.
You mentioned eating right, but I would imagine, like, especially your voice. Do you do anything special? Is there a routine, like tea and honey, or
No, none of that. Actually, the best thing that you could do is not talk.
Oh, I'll wrap this up.
I mean, I know it's funny. It's funny, but honestly, like, the voice is it's a multi-geared
Yeah.
instrument. I mean, and so where you sing and where you speak are from two different places in your vocal cords, and what wears it out the most is talking.
Right.
So there's a lot of times in silence, a lot of times.
Avoid Taco Bell lettuce till the end of August.
We know that.
Have you not? I mean,
But
all
I
kidding-
had what was it, South City Cafe or what
South
was-
City Kitchen.
South City Kitchen. We had I had a South City Kitchen salad, which is very good.
It's
by the
that's
way.
legit place.
That place is great.
Have you ever either during the Foreigner days or prior had an issue on stage where you said,
My appendix blew on stage.
"Oh my God"?
So I used to play guitar for John Waite, and we were in Europe, and we were about a month into our tour, and I just was getting sicker and sicker. I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm getting food poisoning. I was trying to find out why I was getting worse, and then one day it hit really hard right before we were playing. I'm like, did anybody eat that salami? I was like, oh my God. And I just kept going like this. I didn't really know. You don't know what your appendix hurts like or whatever. So we got up on stage, and I remember looking at Tim, John's bass player. I'm like, I don't know, and that's all I remember. And then I remember waking up backstage, puking into a bucket, and there was these German, paramedic. Yeah, they were coming. They're like, talking to each other, and they're like, what's going on? I said, oh, well, it hurts. And I was going like this, right? I go, oh, it hurts really bad, and I just got food poisoning. And the guy took his fingers and went, you mean right here? And when he did that, I saw like white. I was like, ah! He goes, we got to get him to the hospital now. His appendix is blown.
Oh my God!
And long story short, they went in, got my appendix, and
That's insane.
and I spent like about 3 or 4 days, but we were almost done with the tour, and I got out of the hospital earlier because no, you guys aren't gonna finish the tour without me. I gotta make this, And
I'm assuming at that point you have health insurance with the band. Is that part? Is that part?
you know what's crazy about that? I was walking out of that hospital, and I was ready to pay because I didn't know how to work with there, and they're like, no problem.
free.
Yeah, it was free. And I was
Because
like,
you're a superstar, you're a
Oh.
celebrity. Everyone, we would have had to pay. Okay. Yeah. I don't want to take up any more of your time, Jeff Louise. Thank you again.
Thank you.
I'm excited for this. Thanks for your generosity with the Carathon and our listeners, ladies and gentlemen. Foreigner.